Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday edition of Video Clips, which is brought to you by Wellness Forum Health, the Wellness Forum Institute, and Make Americans Free Again. A couple things. Last week's boot camp was amazing. Make Americans Healthy Again, Wellness Forum style. And if you didn't get a chance to participate or see the recording, you can still access the recording. Just send me an email at pampopper@wellnessforum.com. Believe it or not, we have another free boot camp coming up in July for healthcare professionals, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll record it as well. It's available via Zoom. And by the end of this program, if you're a healthcare professional, you will know how to start a practice or accelerate the growth of your existing practice, differentiate yourself from the very crowded healthcare field so that you'll attract more business, attract the right patients with low or no cost marketing strategies, have fun teaching people how to really regain their health. We're going to talk about a lot of issues ranging from the right diet for humans to how to integrate diet and lifestyle teaching into a practice and that sort of thing. Lots of times for questions. And in fact, I'm morphing the curriculum, much like I did for the consumer version a week ago. I'm going to do that for healthcare practitioners. A lot of what you tell me you want to learn in the registration form is stuff that I'll include in the boot camp itself. And then we have our boot camp for research coming up. If you have trouble providing fact-based answers to people who challenge your opinions, or you have trouble looking stuff up, this is a Friday night, Saturday, July 18th and 19th. And I will teach you how to be more self-sufficient and how to check out claims. Going back to last week's boot camp, I got so many emails from people who said, thank you so much for clarifying whatever the topic was. Like, I really believe these people who told me XYZ and that sort of thing. So we talked about ways of looking things up, but we're going to spend a Friday night and all day Saturday learning. And again, we'll look into some of the issues that the participants are interested in looking into. That's when you have to pay for it. But the healthcare professionals boot camp is free. All right. So let's get into today's news. It's going to be a little bit different than what I usually talk about. And it has to do with what now and where are we going? That's the question, right? So a lot of you have been watching me for a very long time. Some people for decades. I don't remember when I started posting on YouTube, but it was a long, long time ago. And some of you since the beginning of the COVID debacle in 2020. Particularly for the last 5 years or so, the message has been super consistent: informed medical decision-making for consumers through Wellness Forum Health, and the need to rein in public health and government and medical system through Make Americans Free Again, or MAFA. Consistency is good, but the downside is that it can lull people into not paying much attention over time. So instead of health information and lawsuit updates today, I'm going to deliver a very different kind of message. First, and I must be very vague about this, about locations and details for many reasons, including protecting the people involved for the moment, an alternative clinic offering alternative therapies was raided last week by a licensure board. Investigators took all of the substances that were being offered and suspended the license of at least one person who works there. So what happens next? Well, a lot of possibilities. The health professional could lose the license for good. Hopefully, this person has lots of money because fixing it might cost well over $100,000 or even $200,000. It's sometimes more even. The patients who are depending on the therapies can't get them right now, and they might be able to find them in the same city, or they might have to travel to another city or even to another state. Lots of fear will be generated as the word gets out, and practitioners doing anything outside the box will go further underground. No advertising, taking only new clients who are referred by a trusted person, and so on. So is Make Americans Free Again going to help? I don't know. We've not been asked. The people involved are not members, and we can't afford it right now anyway. This has been going on for over 100 years, and it's going to continue for another 100 years unless we do something about it. I feel at this time we're at a very crucial turning point. We either decide that we're going to fix the mess or not. My vote's fix it. It impacts all of us. It gets worse over time. None of it really has much to do with COVID, other than it was just a bigger example of all of it, made more people pay attention. And it continues today, and it will continue forever unless we all decide once and for all, no, no more. Taking this into consideration, I'm proposing a new statement of purpose for Make Americans Free Again that reflects our current reality. This is, of course, in addition to finishing the COVID-19 related litigation, because we have an obligation to our plaintiffs and our members who funded it, and we do want to finish those cases. So here it is. For health professionals, the freedom to practice. For consumers, the freedom to access and the freedom to choose. So some details: health professionals includes both licensed and non-licensed healthcare providers. And consumers, freedom to access the practitioner the consumer chooses and to get the treatment the consumer wants. It's obviously a little challenging from time to time based on what I just told you. Some of the issues that we should pay attention to moving forward include protecting practitioners' right to practice, which translates to right to access by consumers. In other words, if your practitioner doesn't have a license anymore or has been shut down for offering alternative therapies, that means you can't access those things as a consumer. Another thing is injury due to lack of informed consent. This includes, but isn't limited to, patient interactions with healthcare professionals and institutions. Also, another thing is coercion by employers who leverage their employees to agree to screenings and interventions as a condition of group health insurance participation or discounts. Person just told me recently that her husband got the COVID shot to avoid an $1,800 per year increase in his copay for premiums. So this has been going on for years too. Before the world came to an end in 2020, we used to do a lot of intervention programs at corporate sites, and they gave people discounts if they would engage in certain types of behavior. And it all sounds really lovely, but who gives them the right to tell you what behavior you're supposed to engage in, right? Lack of informed consent at hospital admission. Patients should know their rights. For example, everybody's signing in at the kiosk right now, and you can ask for a printed copy. They'll tell you that they're not going to give it to you, but if you turn around and look like you're going to walk out, they will do that. Then you can change the form. The use of vaccines as a means for gaining custody of minor children in divorce proceedings. Medical power of attorney. Most people haven't arranged this or done it legally or properly, which is one of the things that contributed to so much of the mess that happened in the hospital during COVID. Complications and the potential to be murdered in the hospital because a person is chosen to be an organ donor. That's a different topic it would take a long time to explain it all, but I'll just give you the short version of the story. I am no longer going to be noted as an organ donor on my driver's license. The big picture vision is this. MAFA has the opportunity to solve once and for all problems that have persisted in healthcare for well over 100 years in the United States, like medical tyranny, lack of medical choice, persecution of practitioners, abdication of state legislatures concerning healthcare regulation, and laws prohibiting most healthcare practices in most states. Our legacy can be to leave a functional medical system that includes freedom to choose for future generations. This sounds so much better to me than explaining to the next generation why we didn't do it. I mean, people tell me all the time why they just don't have an appetite for this. They say things like, I'm tired of all of this. I don't have the time. Starting a tribe is a lot of work, and I don't want more responsibility. I donate to so many other things, and it's not my problem, and somebody else will fix it if I don't. It's just going to have to be somebody else. Somebody told me that the other day. So my friends, what's your choice? I mean, ready to pitch in and help, or hoping somebody else is going to fix this for us? Or maybe you're just content with the status quo. Hard to believe, but I think some people are. Before you answer the question, I want you to consider this. You could be the next person whose life-saving treatment is cut off by a licensure board. Your doctor could lose her license. Your grandchild could be vaccine injured or faced with mandates as a prerequisite for attending college. You could end up in a rehab center to recover from an accident that requires shots in order to get care. Many people think that this doesn't have anything to do with them until it does, because something like this happens to them or somebody close to them. How we fix this is start to develop and build tribes, thousands of them all over the country. We gather enough people and we raise enough money that we become a powerful force to be reckoned with. We collectively say, there will be no more of this. So say to yourself, this is where it starts. It stops now and the solution starts with me. I mean, if you can only donate $1 a month, go online and do it now. Pass this video on to as many people as you can. Letting more people know about this is crucial. Get over yourself, start a tribe, or go back to the one you used to attend but stopped because you thought everything was fine, or that watching soccer games was more important than ensuring that your child would have access to safe medical care. We can do this if we muster the strength of character and the discipline to get it done. I'm super committed. What say you? Well, I think that's enough said for me. Anyway, I do want to know what you think about it, and I hope what you think is that you should take action. I'm inviting you, asking you to do it. As usual, pass this video on, not just to people who you think are interested, but to everybody you know. because we really don't know who's interested, and we've got to start talking to everybody about this. It's a huge problem to solve, but it's solvable. Together we can do it. Once again, I will appreciate your watching, and I will be back to you next week with more news.